Good morning and welcome back to another SRS podcast. I'm the host this morning, Jeff Mullin. Today we have two special guests joining us. Kenny Kwan from Hong Kong and Marinus de Kleuver is also joining us. Marinus is the past president of the society, so it's really exciting to have both these leaders on our field joining us. Today we're going to talk about the hands-on courses offered by the Scoliosis Research Society. But first, I'm hoping our guests can introduce themselves. Marinus, can you start?
So thank you, Jeff. My name is Marinus de Kleuver. I'm the past president of the Scoliosis Research Society, and I've been involved in quite a lot of the educational activities over the past years. And I'm also the chair of the hands-on course we're organizing in Europe in June this year.
And Kenny?
Sure, thanks, Jeff. My name is Kenny Kwan. I work in Hong Kong, and I've been the chair for the hands-on course committee for the past year and a bit. And I've been to various courses over the years, and I'm also going to be the chair for the upcoming course in October in Hong Kong on October 10th to 12th.
So both of you be chairing upcoming courses, but maybe you can step back a little bit and before we talk about the course specifics. Marinus, maybe give us a little bit broader overview on the hands-on courses and the role within the SRS.
Thanks, Jeff. So the SRS has its two main scientific meetings, which are the annual meeting in September and IMAS, the International Meeting for Advanced Biotechnologies, which is usually in April, and this year it'll be in Glasgow in April. Those are scientific meetings with free papers, some educational sessions, but most of it's free papers which have to go through a review process, and it's cutting edge technology and innovation. Apart from that, we also have an educational program which involves what we call worldwide courses. And worldwide courses are courses we organize in conjunction with partner organizations. And we do that across the world so that we can engage our members and future members and spine surgeons, but also other therapists in increasing the knowledge and experience of spinal deformity treatment across the world. And it fits our mission. And these worldwide courses are usually more didactic, which means we have invited speakers. And then on top of that, we also have more hands-on experience. And that's what we call the hands-on courses or the spinal deformity solution courses. And Kenny can say a little bit more about those.
Sure,
Yeah.
thanks, Maurice. So I've been involved with the hands-on course both as a participant almost more than 10 years ago now, and have been faculty on various courses when they first started in Vegas, and also various countries in Asia and Europe. So basically, the aim of these courses are to let our participants to have real hands-on experience from navigating very basic spinal pedicle screws fixation to very complex osteotomies such as PCOs, PSOs, and VCRs, and also have the interaction with the faculty. So we keep the participant ratio very low. So the maximum of 3 participants per cadaver. And we have ample faculties from the region and also international based in the SRS so that participants can bring their cases, have very personal discussions with their faculties throughout the course.
That's great. So I wanted to stress one thing you just said there for all the listeners. So you said 3 participants per cadaver, plus there's going to be multiple faculty helping them through the dissections, correct?
Right. And I think this is very unique for the SRS and pretty much for all the spine cadaver courses that I've been to. Because of this low ratio, everyone gets an opportunity to work on the cadavers and can have very personal conversations about what they want to learn from the course, despite us running pretty similar programs throughout the course.
Yeah, so what happens, Jeff, is that we have 8 to 10 stations, we call them, which is 8 to 10 cadavers. Those are fresh frozen cadavers, so not formaldehyde. And then we have 3 participants to a station plus a faculty, sometimes 2 faculty. And that team at that one station can customize their needs. So we have workshops, C-spine anterior and posterior, thoracic spine anterior, posterior, and lumbar spine anterior, posterior. So we cover the whole spine from the occiput to the sacrum. both anterior approaches, direct lateral approaches, and posterior approaches. But it could be that at a certain station, certain people have a preference to spend a little bit more time on this technique or that technique. And this very close relationship with the table instructor or the surgeon or the SRS surgeon, who's the mentor at the table, can help guide them through the technique specific to their needs. So it's a very personal, educational meeting and event.
The faculties aren't local participants also, but they're SRS leaders from around the world coming in for these meetings, correct?
Yes, it's surprising. The ones in Europe, we always thought we were targeting a European audience, but it turns out even about half the participants at our meetings come from outside Europe, so especially Latin America, Middle East. So people travel a long way, and the faculty are all well-known senior SRS members who've also published a lot on these techniques. And we always have a little bit of redundancy. So, for example, if a surgeon is very experienced in the C-spine but less experienced in the thoracic spine, we always have enough faculty to be able to cover all techniques in all cadavers in all situations.
And one of the special features of these courses is at the beginning, we always have a fireside chat discussion. So to warm everyone up before we get our hands dirty, we have like either the evening with food and chit chat over cases. So normally the faculty or the participants can bring cases, and we would discuss them over food, cheese, wine, and canapes, and really get everyone going and get to know each other. And then the next day we start with the dissection. So it's not just, working on the cadaver, but bringing your real cases to discuss with faculties that you might want to discuss with other members as well.
And another aspect which I have started to appreciate more and more is the SRS has support from multiple industrial partners, sponsors, and we've engaged them in these courses as well. So they will bring their instruments and their implants, so we can use those during those surgeries. But what's also very important is not just that they bring a set of screws or implants, but they bring their cutting-edge technologies, and it allows us to expose the teachers, the educators, but the participants to new technologies, to have discussions with the industry. So it's not just I'd like to learn how to put in a certain implant. It becomes a much more dynamic process where there's a three-way discussion between sometimes industry support, the faculty, the teacher, and the participants. And it allows a very unique, dynamic, free flow in discussion and information, which means that there's always for everybody something to learn. The industry learns from it, the participants learn, and the faculty learn. And that's a very unique ecosystem that we've developed in these hands-on courses.
Sounds like a great opportunity. And maybe that speaks to you, Kenny. You mentioned you've been involved in these for over 10 years. So maybe for our members and listeners, could you walk us through that journey a little bit of how you got started and sort of continue your involvement to now you're chairing?
Yeah, so the course has really changed quite a bit since it first started. I think originally there were a lot of courses running in North America, but I think the demand of that has actually gone down a bit. So what we are doing now is that we have got a rotation going on. So we always run 2 courses per year. One of them will be in either Europe or Latin America now, I think, and the other one will always be in Asia. I think the original idea was that so that participants don't have to travel a long way. But actually, we found, as Marina said, people are coming from all over the world, no matter where we run these courses. So they are open to basically everyone. With regards to the content, we have also evolved quite a bit. So we've played around with the program a little bit. I think every time the feedback is we want more dissecting time. So no matter how much lab time you put in, everyone wants more. So we have put a lot of the lectures now on pre-recorded online lectures. So you can view them prior to coming to the course rather than having didactic lectures. And during the course, we can review the material and discuss the material if the participants want to. And we have minimized the time where didactic lectures are given and maximized the time where We have ongoing case discussion where there's two-way discussion between the participants, the faculties, and even amongst the faculties, actually, and also a lot of time in the lab. So we have expanded the time in the lab so that everyone get their hand dirty for as long as they want and as long as it's practical. And also we have tweaked some of the content as well. So we've noticed that in some areas, in some regions, particularly in Asia, all the surgeons do most things. So they wouldn't be just pediatric or adult or cervical. Whereas in some areas in the world where they're more concentrating on one area or the other. So depending on where the course is run, we may tailor the cervical part, particularly to a special day or special half day, or incorporate it like in Asia, because everyone does cervical in Asia. So will just make it part of a normal program. So you don't have to stay on an extra day to do that. So that is constantly being tweaked and changed depending on where you go. But essentially, as Marina said, the content is that we cover everything from occiput to sacrum, posterior, and anterior, and
And that
lateral.
and that involves not just instrumentation, but also correction techniques, osteotomies, starting with simple facetectomies to ponteosteotomies to three-column osteotomies. So we try to cover everything, and as I said earlier, it means that sometimes one station may do slightly different exercise to another because we respond to the needs of that individual participant. And so it becomes quite a dynamic. I think I used the word ecosystem just now, which is what it has turned out to be. And it's over the years, it's also professionalized significantly. What most people don't realize, you go to a cadaver lab and you have 30 fresh frozen cadavers, but usually you have one or two in reserve. Someone has to put them already on the station. Then we need to have all the instruments there. But just think of the amount of PPE, personal protective equipment we need. Everybody has to have gowns, disposable gowns, gloves, face masks. We're very, very careful with personal hygiene and protection. So everybody wears glasses. Most of the stuff's disposable. We have C-arms in the room, which means that we have to have up to about 100 lead aprons because we've got 30 participants. Then we've got about 15 faculty. And then on top of that, we have about 20 industry support. So all in all, there'll be 70 or 80 people in the lab. And we need lead aprons for each of those. So it's a huge logistic exercise. And over the years, we've gone back to certain places like Hong Kong, Thailand, and Nijmegen in the Netherlands, because we now have this like a machined process going very professionally, and we can tweak it every time. But the basics have become more and more professional, which means that there are less surprises, and we provide more consistent high-level education to the participants who, as we mentioned before, sometimes travel halfway across the world to come to these unique events.
And I think those logistical challenges and barriers have been overcome speak to sort of the SRS's professionalism and the standard and quality you're going to be getting with these courses. So we're kind of run out of time a little bit here. So maybe if you guys give one plug for your guys' upcoming meeting and maybe who you think the ideal participant or member who should sign up to be would be.
Okay, I'll go first because we're meeting in June. So I'd like to support and provide you with information about the Nijmegen course, which is going to be run Wednesday, June 18th in the evening, Thursday, June 19th, and Friday, June 20th. It'll be in Nijmegen, the Netherlands, about an hour outside Amsterdam. And we'll have a great course there. And we hope to see you there.
Thank you, Marinus. And Kenny?
Sure. Our course will be in Hong Kong from October to 12th to 15th, and it is going to be at the University of Hong Kong. So as usual, we'll have faculties from senior SRS members internationally and regionally, and we welcome participants from not just in Asia Pacific, but all over the world. So look forward to seeing you there.
All right, well, very good. Well, thanks to all our listeners for joining us, and thanks to our special guest. Speaking of logistical challenges, we have 3 different parts of the world on at the same time interviewing, so thank you guys for accommodating us with the schedule. And for all of our listeners, the information they provide is on the website at srs.org. Google that and find it there, or you can email meetings@srs.org for more details. All right, everybody have a great day. Thanks again.
Thanks,
Bye-bye,
Jeff.
everyone. Thank you.